Hi folks, and welcome to TK Power Sports. Today's going to be a good one because I've got this, the Yamaha FX SVHO. This is Yamaha's luxury PWC lineup, although this is the least expensive model in that lineup. So we're going to go for a ride, see how fast it is, see how fun it is, and then of course see how comfortable it is. Make sure you stay tuned. The model that we are reviewing today is the FX SVHO. So this is the least expensive model that you can get with the supercharged engine. Now you could step up to the FX Cruiser and then the FX Limited. Those are going to get you some more of those luxury features. But if you want the most powerful luxury machine for the least amount of money, well, you're looking at it right here. If you're wondering how big it is, this is not a small unit. Dry weight comes in at 873 pounds. Overall length is 140.9 inches. Width is 50 inches. And overall height here is 48.4 inches. Let's go over all the features. And you got to start up front with the nose storage. Now in total, this is 44.5 gallons of storage. You can see we got a nice big backpack in here, but then there's loads of space for our bumpers, sandals, we got our fire extinguisher, a lot of space up here in the nose. And for a luxury machine, that's important. This is the kind of machine where maybe you want to go to the island for lunch, something like that. Well, you're going to need some space to bring your stuff along with you. As we roll back, you're going to see a nice set of mirrors here, 2 cup holders, which also double with RAM mounts, so you can buy different things that mount up right inside these cup holders too. Many different accessories, phone holders, things like that. Now as we roll back, again, more storage. This is very accessible to the rider right between your legs, and this one actually has these dividers in here, plus a little pocket there where you could zip up your cell phone. You can see me shove my arm in just to see how deep that is. A lot of space right here. Once again, very important. We all go on the water now with our phones and our wallets and our car keys. Having this and making sure it's waterproof is very important than it is. Now you might have noticed some of the technology here. We'll get to it a little bit more later, but yes, you can now talk to your Waverunner and you can hook up your cell phone and you can ask it to play you music while you're on the water. Pretty amazing tech. Now the next piece of storage underneath the seat. So the back comes off, and this is one of my favorite pieces on Waverunners. Look at that guy, it comes right out. You can take it with you. Once again, you're going to the island, something like that. Throw your water bottles in there, and then when you're done, do it back up. It's got a little rubber ring, so hopefully it would stay mostly waterproof. And you tuck that back in there. And then finally, I'll also just show you real quick. You peel off your seat, and there is your engine. That's a 1,812 cc supercharged 4-cylinder engine, which again, pretty soon you'll see just how quick this thing is. And the seat goes on just like that. Now as we get to the back, this unit we have today has the rec deck on it. That's this big swim platform. This is an accessory, but it just adds that much more space to the rear of your unit, especially if you are swimming on or off of it. And then of course you notice we also have this cooler here. This is an accessory cooler. You'll see right down here you're able to put this cleat into your rec deck, and then the cooler just straps right on. It's not the most secure sort of setup. I wish there was something more like what Sea-Doo has with those little cleats. However, it does work. It got around the lake today, no problem. And then when you get to where you're going, those straps do come off nice and easy, and you can take your cooler with you. I showed you the cooler that's on the back of this machine, but we also have some other accessories from Yamaha, like this fishing rod holder, which attach back here on this recreation deck. So you can see there's this track system in the deck, and you're going to use those tracks to slide in these mounts like so. And like so. And this also means that you can install this anywhere it has that track system. So you have a couple different options. Once you get it in there, you simply tighten those down, quick and easy. And there you go. Now your fishing rod can hang in there while you're out there on the move. It makes a lot of sense to offer accessories these days because there's just so many different uses for these machines that folks have. And there's one other accessory they gave us. It's just a straight up oversized cup holder. But again, if you're sitting backwards, and let's say you're actually out fishing on this thing, you could have your nice cup holder sitting right there, have a drink while you're on the water. So I like that Yamaha offers these accessories. It's almost expected of companies now to have a full accessories catalog, and you can see it here. Yamaha does for the Waverunner. So whatever you want to accessorize this machine, they're happy to sell it to you. Now the final thing I'll show you is at the very back, and it comes along with this rec deck. It is a very nice swim ladder. Once I can get it working here, that's a legitimate ladder. It goes nice and deep, and especially for a bigger fella like myself, when I come off the side of a Waverunner, I like having that ladder to climb back up. And I think that's just about it for the features, so why don't we hit the water now, and I'll show you how all that works. And now here we are riding the FX SVHO, and the first thing I'm going to do is super slow speed. I'm going to bring it into the dock because I have TDE docking mode. So when I'm in neutral, I hold forward over here on the button, and now I'm in TDE forward, and you'll see the unit just creeps along as slow as possible. This is the idea. You're coming into the dock, you want to just be real smooth, real slow, don't even have to touch the throttle. All I have to worry about is maneuvering. Then I tap down twice. Now I go into TDE reverse. Look at that, brings me to a nice, beautiful, slow stop. I even need a hair more forward here just to bring me in, a little bit of reverse, and you can play this game back and forth. But look how easy this is. Modulating this throttle is basically impossible to be that smooth at slow speeds. So Yamaha offers that TDE mode, and I just think it makes a lot of sense. Plus, I don't see other manufacturers offering things like that. So in that way, the Waverunner is probably the easiest PWC to dock thanks to that special driving mode. And then once you are docked here on your FX, Yamaha actually gives you these tie-down loops right underneath the handlebar. So you can use that, tie your rope through, tie it up to the dock, and then you're secured. I appreciate that they offer these, and not all the Waverunner units have them, so it's nice that they're here on the FX. As with most PWCs these days, the FX is large. Honestly, they call them personal watercraft, but I think these are small boats now. I mean, this thing weighs over 800 pounds. And one of the biggest advantages just to the size of modern PWCs is the slow speed stability. So I always show it off the same way. I can stand on one footwell and not take on water on this machine. Oh, just a little bit. But the point there is that getting on and off from a dock or boarding this thing even when you're out there on the water, it is simple. And of course, this machine is ready for 3 passengers, and you can legitimately bring 3 people with you. The weight rating is still only that 530 pounds, but still, this machine will carry 3 people in comfort. Each one has their own seat and their own handle to hold on to. So very much focused on bringing people with you, having fun out on the water with your family or friends, and that slow speed stability just means getting on and off is as simple as can be. Talking about the power, this is the most powerful PWC engine that Yamaha makes, this SVHO. It is supercharged. It is ridiculous. The acceleration just absolutely takes off. You jump up out of the water, and the top speed, it actually is not allowed to reach its top speed because top speed on PWC is limited at 69 miles per hour thanks to the US government. So if your machine can go faster than that, it has to be limited, and this one absolutely qualifies. So it's not even really about what is the top speed, it's about how quick will I get there. And let me tell you, I don't have a number for you, but it is definitely sub 4 seconds, and on the water, that is ridiculously quick. But you know what? I did do a top speed on anyway, just for fun. We're out here, I have to show you, so why don't you watch me do it now. All right, folks, now it's time for top speed here on the FX SVHO. So I'm hoping I can find enough smooth water to hit that top speed. Let's see what we can do. Taking off in 3, 2, 1, go. Well, folks, it was a bit of a challenge out here to find the smooth enough water. I saw 107 kilometers per hour, which on the water is absolutely ridiculous. When it comes to the different ride systems here on the FX, there's 3 others that I want to mention. First of all, you have no wake mode. And as many of you know, there's lots of places that when you take off, you can't just go full speed right away. You have to get out of the marina or out of the harbor or out of the river. And in those places, there are no wake zones, literally meaning you can't go fast enough to create a wake. So when you hit the no wake button, and I'll do it right now, the machine will take you along as fast as possible without creating a wake, or with just creating the smallest wake as possible. So when I was using it earlier, it had me up to about 6 or 7 kilometers per hour. But again, the idea there is you don't have to just barely hold the throttle, because that's kind of tricky. All you have to do is sit on the unit, put it in no wake mode, and it'll just go along at that steady speed, which is handy. Now, the next system is cruise control. This is awesome if you're crossing a long body of water, or if you're doing speeds for a long period of time. What it allows you to do is once you're at speed, you hit the cruise control button. That locks in whatever speed you were moving, and then over here on the throttle, you just squeeze it all the way to the bar. And the thinking there is that this is a much more comfortable hand position than sort of half throttle. And if you're doing miles and miles and miles, it's easy just to squeeze that and not worry about your speed. And then plus, once you're at speed, you can use the controls over here on your handlebar to go up or down, +5 or -5 above or below your set speed. Once again, this is a luxurious feature. It's all about going long distances and taking a little bit more of that fatigue and strain out of your hand by offering you cruise control. Plus, I should mention, for water sports or tow sports, if you have a tube, sometimes that is also nice to be able to just hit that consistent speed and not worry how fast you're going. And then finally, the last setting here, which I like, there is an auto trim setting. So as you get up out of the water, it will trim that jet automatically to have your nose sit right at the right level. And within the auto trim, there's also a performance setting. So if you want to go as quick as possible, you put it in performance. And again, as you come up out of the water, it'll just get the nose nice and low as quickly as it can. One more thing that's been taken out of your hands at the machine handles for you. Where the FX, in my opinion, really sets itself apart from other wave runners in the lineup is with the handling, and that is a good and a bad thing. You won't describe this thing as aggressive. When you turn in sharp to a corner, it does an okay job at biting, but you can actually feel it kind of lose traction with the water, and you can feel like the rear end wants to break loose on you pretty quickly. And if you do come into a corner a little too hot, it is easy to actually allow that rear end to kind of break free, which if you want a confident ride, that's not really what you're going for here. So that's when the nature of this machine shows itself. In a tight corner, it just feels kind of wishy-washy. It doesn't feel solid in the water. On sort of a medium-sized corner, it's fine, no problem. So that's why I always come back to calling it a big, comfy couch, because that is truly what you feel out on the water. It is comfort first. You're cruising along. It's easy to drive, no problem. Nice, big, wide turns. Everything's great. It's only when you really ask more of it to kind of throw it into a tight turn that suddenly it goes, whoa, I'm not quite designed for this, and you can feel that as you're riding it. So this just comes down to riding style. Do you want to have ultimate riding thrills on the water? This thing will give you to them in terms of speed, but maybe not the handling. And then if you're just looking for comfort and luxury, yeah, the FX will deliver it all day long. And so what do I mean, comfort and luxury? Well, there's a bunch of features here. Things like a Bluetooth audio system, water drains down in my footwell. Even the floor padding here that my feet sit on feels a little thicker and a little nicer than some other units I've been on. And then, of course, I have a fully digital touchscreen up here in front of me. This thing has loads of information on it. I mentioned the music already. You can jump up there and switch over to a navigation system, so you can download the map of wherever you're going with all the info, and you can use the nav here on your touchscreen. I also feel like they've done a nice job in making it visible even in harsh sunlight. While I'm out here riding, I've been able to see it all day long, and that is important. Other settings here, you also have all the drive control settings, so you can lock in a top speed, you can lock it to low acceleration mode. If someone is getting on who is sort of new to this, you can set it up for them as well, because the power here is ridiculous the first time you hear it. If it's your first time on a unit, you might not want to feel all of that. Really an excellent setup here for you as the rider in terms of technology. Oh yeah, one last thing, I mentioned the audio system. Well, on the FX, it can be controlled by your voice. So I can actually hit a button down here and then say, you know, hey FX, play my music, and it will actually do that. So you don't even have to go in there fishing for your phone. Once it's set up, you can use voice controls. And I just think PWCs, like other areas of power sports, you don't have to compromise anymore. These used to just be about fun on the water. Now they're about fun on the water with your stuff, with your music, with your friends, in total comfort. So if you've seen Waverunners out on the water, you've noticed they got a big jet of water out the back. Now, Waverunners are water cooled, so it is taking on water from the lake, but that's not the reason that's back there. That is back there for safety. Yamaha says that their machines move so fast out there on the water that they want you to be seen from all the way around the lake. So when you take off, you still put up a big rooster tail just to make sure you have that visibility. Out here today, the lake was quite busy, and I appreciate it. When you're on a busy lake, your head's always going. So one extra thing to make sure people see you is a smart idea. In tight quarters, like right now, my cameraman's standing there. It'd be easy for me to soak him. It can be a little bit annoying, trying not to spray your friends and family, but it can also be kind of fun too. So you have to sort of just be in that fun mindset with it. But from a safety perspective, I think it makes a lot of sense. A word of caution now to all prospective PWC buyers: don't buy a black unit. Maybe black plastic, but not a black seat. This seat gets significantly hotter than if it was a bright color, and I don't see the reason. I know it looks kind of cool, kind of stealth. Personally, I don't think that's worth it. So if you're looking for something that's gonna live outside in the sun, on the water, I do not recommend black unless you wanna bake your buns. After all of that, you're now thinking, well, what does it cost? This FX SVHO is gonna cost $18,900. And I do wanna point out, this is the FX SVHO, then you step up to the FX Cruiser SVHO, and then the FX Limited. So this is the least expensive of all those luxury models. And right here, I'm gonna throw up just a quick little graphic to show you the actual differences in content when you go from this model up to the top, because there's not a ton of changes. Well, folks, we've come to the end of this one. What can you say about this FX? The performance is ridiculous in a straight line. It's comfortable and luxurious. Now, you are going to pay for it, but if it's worth it to you, this thing will deliver smiles out on the lake for years to come. So like I said, that's it for this one. Now, please go below in the comments. I need to hear your thoughts on this FX SVHO. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member, and then come back here to TK Power Sports to see what the heck we're testing next. And if you'll excuse me, I got lots more riding to do. See ya!